Your Excellency, my brother and colleague, Dr. Moketsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, the two Vice Presidents of the Republic of Zimbabwe, retired General Chiwenga, retired Kemba Mohadi, Honorable Ministers from Botswana and Zimbabwe respectively, His Excellency Lieutenant General Fisher, Ambassador to the Republic of Zimbabwe from Botswana. Your Excellencies, let me begin by expressing my profound appreciation to you for having, Your Excellency, to you for having honored us, Zimbabwe, by accepting my invitation to the inaugural session of the BNC. This session has afforded us the opportunity to reflect on where we are in our efforts to strengthen and deepen cooperation between our two countries and where we want to go as two countries. We have accordingly set for ourselves new milestones to be worked on between now and the second session of our BNC in Botswana. I am pleased that at this inaugural session, we witnessed the signing of 6 agreements, or MOUs, which set the legal framework for broad cooperation in the agreed areas. Through our collective efforts, may the conclusion of these agreements, or MOUs, not be an end in itself, but the beginning of greater bilateral cooperation for the benefit of our people and our future generations. History has shown that where people and nations get used to working together, they grow to share the same vision and aspirations. I am confident that Zimbabwe and Botswana have set themselves along this path. The reinvigoration of our strategic partnership that transcends artificial barriers between our historically connected countries will undoubtedly give focus and impetus to the economic prosperity and development of our two countries. We continue to find solace and encouragement from the unequivocal support and solidarity from friends like Botswana with regards to the call for the unconditional removal of the illegal sanctions imposed on our country. Your Excellency, colleague and brother, we commend the work done thus far by our ministers and the senior officials. However, I exhort you all to roll up your sleeves, for there is more work to be done if we are to speedily implement the decisions and commitments we have made during this inaugural session. Let us put an honest day's work in the service of our people. Furthermore, greater effort should be put in making a success of our flagship projects. Success in these projects will stimulate and give momentum to projects in other sectors of our cooperation. Preparations for the second session of the BNC should begin soon after we leave this venue, in accordance with our renewed determination to cooperate. Your Excellency, colleague and brother, in the conclusion, let me wish you and your delegation a very safe journey back to Botswana. For some of you who may have some time before your return trip, I encourage you to drive around Harare and sample some of the available tourist attractions like our National Heroes Acre before you go home. And of course, enjoy the hospitality of the Zimbabwean population. They are very humble, most welcoming, and very loving.
Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellency President Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Honor the Vice President, Lieutenant General retired GD or CDGN Chiwenga, and Your Honor Vice President of Zimbabwe, Colonel retired Mahadi, Cabinet Ministers from Zimbabwe and from Botswana, Ambassador of Botswana to Zimbabwe and the Charge d'Affaires of Zimbabwe to Botswana, senior government officials, members of the media, a very good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I'm pleased to be here this morning on this very important occasion, marking the inaugural session of the Botswana-Zimbabwe Binational Commission. Let me start by expressing my profound gratitude to you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, and the friendly people of Zimbabwe for the very warm welcome and gracious hospitality extended to myself, my wife, and the entire Botswana delegation since our arrival in this wonderful city of Harare. Mr. President, I note with satisfaction that our two countries continue to enjoy very cordial and fraternal relations. This enduring relationship is anchored on close familial ties, common culture, and a rich history that predates the formalization of our bilateral relations. It is therefore heartening to note the growing intensity of our interaction at the highest political level. This is not only testimony of our close affinity, but it also is emblematic of our resolve to create opportunities for our people to improve their socio-economic livelihoods. Also encouraging is the fact that our ministers and senior officials have also picked the tempo to ensure the full implementation of the decisions we continue to make during our interactions. And yes, I echo your gentle advice. The team shall at that time deliver, not on time, before time. The convening, Your Excellency, of this inaugural session of the Binational Commission adds more excitement and impetus to the advancement of this fruitful cooperation between our sisterly countries. As we have indicated before, the BNC provides a platform for regular engagements to evaluate progress in the implementation of our decisions, as well as to give strategic direction to our cooperation. I have no doubt that during this Binational Commission session, we will also have an opportunity to exchange views on a wide variety of issues of mutual interest. Your Excellency, Mr. President, it is gratifying that our cooperation is deepening and broadening in all sectors of human development, such as agriculture, infrastructure development, trade and investment, as well as defense and security. This in itself should inspire us to come up with innovative ways of coagulating our long-standing partnership. I must emphasize that as we reflect on how to further enhance our bilateral cooperation, it is critical that we do not forget the important role played by the private sector in our developmental agenda. It is therefore important that as governments, we engage the private sector to play its part in improving trade and investment between our two countries. We have a number of initiatives that have the potential to spur trade and investment between our two countries and the region as a whole. These include initiatives such as the Ponta Chabanini project, you referred to, Your Excellency, between ourselves, meaning Zimbabwe and Botswana and Mozambique. This has a huge potential, not only to facilitate the movement of people and goods between Botswana and Zimbabwe, but also to give access to the Asia and Pacific markets for our products. I therefore look forward to our tripartite summit with Mozambique, the one President Nyusi talked about, that you and I are to go to Mozambique to hold. We will discuss this project so as to find ways to expedite its conclusion. Mr. President, Your Excellency, you'll also agree with me that it is only through meaningful involvement of the private sector in our development efforts that we can further bolster our initiatives to address common challenges such as poverty, youth unemployment, and food security. In Botswana, we say, meaning that there's no problem that can elude us if we are united in purpose. That was the Setswana from Mazringo. It is therefore my earnest hope and strong conviction that, going forward, this BNC should always include the participation of our private sector on the margins of our formal meetings. I am confident that if we continue to work closely together through this bilateral framework, we can further enhance our cooperation for the mutual benefit of our peoples. Let me therefore, Mr. President, reaffirm my personal commitment and that of my government to continue working with you and your government to further enhance the fruitful cooperation and friendship that so happily exists between our two countries. And never will we go back to the past where it was not so much so. Similarly, I wish to extend our solidarity and support to your efforts towards finding a lasting solution to the economic and political situation in your own country of Zimbabwe. In conclusion, Mr. President, I'd like to once again thank you personally and your entire government for the kind invitation to this inaugural session of the Binational Commission and for the warm reception extended to myself, my wife, and my entire delegation.
Excellency Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. Mokwetsi Eric Kabetswe Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, paid an official visit to Zimbabwe from 27 to 28 February 2019 for the inaugural session of the Binational Commission between the two countries. President Masisi was accompanied by 6 ministers and the First Lady. The inaugural session was preceded by the meetings of the ministers on 27 February 2019 and senior officials from 25 to 26 February 2019. During their meeting, the two heads of state held discussions with the view to further strengthen and deepen the bonds of friendship and cooperation between Zimbabwe and Botswana. They also exchanged views on regional, continental, and international issues of mutual interest and concern. The two leaders welcomed the signing of the following agreements and memorandums of understandings: the extradition treaty, the memorandum of understanding on the diplomatic consultations, the rules of procedure governing the meetings of the Binational Commission, the MOU on geology, mining and metallurgy, the MOU on cooperation in the energy sector, and the MOU on the cooperation in the field of science and technology. The two presidents underscored the importance of the memorandum of understandings on geology, mining and metallurgy in enhancing cooperation in the mining sector, especially in the diamond industry where Botswana has considerable experience and expertise. They also noted the importance of the MOU on cooperation in the energy sector in the development and industrialization efforts of the two countries. The two presidents directed the senior officials to expedite the conclusion of the outstanding agreements and MOUs by the mid-term review to be held in November 2019. The two presidents noted the need to increase volumes of trade and investment between their countries. In this regard, they directed that a business forum be convened on the margins of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair to be held in Bulawayo in April 2019. The two presidents welcomed Botswana's decision to consider joining the CASA Union Visa system, as this will assist in the promotion of tourism among the countries involved. They also noted the commitment by Zimbabwe to support Botswana's rhino restocking exercise. The two presidents briefed each other on the political and economic developments in their respective countries. Botswana announced a donation of medical supplies to Zimbabwe, which Zimbabwe welcomed with appreciation. And after this session, the consignment is going to be viewed downstairs. The two leaders also welcomed the statement issued by SADC calling for the unconditional lifting of sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe and noted Botswana's commitment to continue advocating the removal of sanctions. The two leaders congratulated the people of Madagascar and the Democratic Republic of Congo for holding successful and peaceful elections, which demonstrates the democratic maturity not only in the two countries, but the SADC region as a whole. They noted that elections will also be held in a number of SADC countries, including in Botswana, Comoros, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, and South Africa. His Excellency President Nangava wished Botswana successful, peaceful, free and fair elections in October 2019. The two leaders expressed satisfaction with the achievements made during the inaugural session of the Binational Commission. His Excellency President Masisi expressed appreciation for the warm welcome and hospitality according to him and his delegation. His Excellency President Masisi extended an invitation to his counterpart, His Excellency President Nangagwa, to the second session of the BNC to be held in Botswana in 2020 at a date to be agreed through diplomatic channels. Signed today, Harare, 28 February 2019. I thank you, Excellencies.